That's why Hamas always says, we love death like the Jews love life. This is a classic example of how the Jews love life. We will turn over every single stone. We will spare no expense and resource to be able to find our missing children. It's not a question. It's not a convenience. We will do whatever it takes. We will call in every favor we could possibly call in. And it's not just the person who lost the child. It's their brothers and sisters, which means the entire Jewish community. So I said to this individual, instead of looking at this negatively, look at it as an opportunity to be able to elevate your own community. And when you do, you too will be that much better off.
The trust factor is your ticket to a better life. The trust factor shows you how to get through the night.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another week and another episode of the Trust Factor podcast. Really happy you could join, and I hope you found yourself a synagogue for Shavuot. Our night was simply unbelievable. We had a lineup, back-to-back speakers. We had people who were rabbis, and we had people who were just starting out and giving off their first lecture. It was really inspirational. I found myself bouncing between a couple of synagogues to give over some classes, and I'll tell you something, when you go in the middle of the night and it's pitch black outside and everybody's sleeping, it's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and you're walking, and the only people you see walking are other people going to give classes or going to learn in another place. And when you get there, and the neighborhood is so quiet, and then you walk in and the rooms are buzzing. It's like, what is this, 3 o'clock in the afternoon? It's buzzing, 40, 50 guys jammed into a room learning, multiple rooms filled with people learning. They have no idea about the time. They're just enjoying each other's company and learning and growth. I'm telling you guys, there's a reason that we are the nation that we are. And I'll tell you something else that I just saw this morning, which you're going to see probably pretty soon and is going to trigger you. There's a guy on TikTok, and I'm sure he's not the only one, who is up in arms, very upset about the fact that there is this young Jewish girl who's missing in Toronto. She's been missing for a couple of weeks now. Her name's Esti. I'm sure you've heard about her. She's made definitely national news, probably even international news at this point. And this kid is very upset, but not for the reason you might think. He's very upset because he doesn't understand why this little Jewish girl is getting so much attention. He had a family member go missing, and they didn't get nearly the same amount of information. And so what's he doing to be able to drum up the views and the clicks? Is he's making it a point of controversy. Maybe it really does bother him. And I'm sure it does bother certain people that they look and they go, wait a second, why is she so much more special? And my response to this individual is that you need to change the lenses through which you see life. You can choose to be miserable and negative and always compare yourself to people and think, why are they like that and why are we not? Or you can step up and do something about it. Historically, the world has always looked at the Jews in that fashion. Why are they so successful? Why are they so smart? Why are they so wealthy? Why are they holding such important positions? And the answer is because we make it a priority. And we will go to lengths that other communities will not go. When one of our own is in trouble, we step up. We are all family. We don't just say that. We really mean that. The Jewish nation comes together in ways that you cannot even begin to fathom, even in ways that immediate nuclear families often don't come together. And that is the case in Israel more than anywhere else in the world. A Jew can go to Israel for the first time in their lives after never having been there, at the age of 40, 50, 60, and feel as though they are right at home amongst family members. I was there. It's happened to me many times. And everybody that goes there comes back with the same sentiment. Everybody is out to help everybody. We have an appreciation for life that is almost unmatched by any other nation. And do you know who knows that better than anybody else? Our enemies. That's why Hamas always says, we love death like the Jews love life. This is a classic example of how the Jews love life. We will turn over every single stone. We will spare no expense and resource to be able to find our missing children. It's not a question. It's not a convenience. We will do whatever it takes. We will call in every favor we could possibly call in. And it's not just the person who lost the child. It's their brothers and sisters, which means the entire Jewish community. So I said to this individual, instead of looking at this negatively, Look at it as an opportunity to elevate your own life, to be able to elevate your own community. And when you do, you too will be that much better off. In fact, let me let you in on a little secret. I myself was thinking the other nations are going to be upset, or they at least should be, when they look and see how much time and resources have been poured into finding this little girl, because they always look at it with darkness and negativity and pessimism. And because of that, it becomes a perpetual, vicious, negative cycle of hate. Instead of saying, wait, what can I learn from this nation? This is something to be admired. I need to hitch my wagon to these people. I need to learn from them how to behave, because if God forbid my kid ever goes missing, I want the world to turn upside down the same way they're doing it for this little girl. So learn from the Jewish nation. Don't be fools, like so many are out there, that they're so narrow-minded that they're not able to see the big picture. You have every opportunity to emulate the Jewish nation. The Jewish nation is out there helping the entire world. We are the spearheads. We are the driving forces oftentimes behind so many campaigns that have the biggest impact in the world. And there is no reason that you can't be a part of that. The only reason that you wouldn't is because you'd be too busy looking at things negatively and feeling sorry for yourself that you decide that you'd rather hate than love. Let's get into it, my friends. Hopefully, God willing, they find this Esti soon, because it's been too long and it's really, I can't even begin to understand what these parents are going through. It's been way too long and she needs to come home. So keep doing what you're doing. If you're out there helping, keep helping. Last time we talked about the fact that the Rabbi Shalom Arush, had a student that came to him with all kinds of complaints. Rabbi, I'm drowning in debt. I can't deal with it anymore. I don't know how to manage my debt. Help me. And the rabbi said to him, you have a problem. Your problem is with emunah. You need to work on your emunah. And the kid said, no, Rabbi, you didn't hear me. My emunah is fine. I've got a great relationship with my creator. My problem is not emunah. My problem is money. That is a snapshot of all of our lives. And it's not just with money. We have a transactional relationship at best. A lot of us don't have that relationship. We have no idea who our creator is, and we haven't invested the time and the energy to figure out who he is and to foster that relationship, which is a massive loss. You go through your whole life without a relationship with your creator, which is why you were brought here in the first place. You go your whole life without that relationship, unfortunately. The smart money figures it out earlier on in life. And so the rabbi says to this kid, work on your emunah. Don't make it transactional. When you're sick, don't just ask for health. And don't just ask for health when you're sick. When you need money, don't ask for money. That type of transactional relationship is not one to be desired, not by you and not by God. Just think of your own relationship with your children. If your children are only coming to you as an ATM or when they have problems, it's nice. Don't get me wrong. It's nice that they could be going somewhere else, God forbid. They could be going to solve their problems with people who don't care about them or not bringing their problems to me and keeping me in the dark. That would be terrible. I want my children to tell me what their problems are, but don't only come to me when you have problems. I want to hear about things that are good. I want to hear about your day. I want to hear about your challenges, and I want to hear about your successes, and I want to hear about everything in between. Your relationships and your bosses and your school and your study. Tell me. Fill me in, keep me in the loop, make me feel like I'm a part of your life and not just a source of solutions to your problems. If that's the way you view me, then our relationship is going to be limited. I know, because I'm old enough to recognize that you take advantage of the relationship and that it's not a two-way street. It is strictly a one-way street. And nobody enjoys that type of relationship where it's one-sided. So make sure it's a two-sided relationship. Share the good and the seemingly bad, and that will allow you to foster a meaningful relationship with your creator. So let's see what it says over here. He goes on, and the rabbi actually gives this kid the words to use. And this is an amazing example of the relationship, the type of conversation that you can have with your creator. It says like this: speak to your creator in the following manner. Master of the world, there is no one else that I can turn to but you. For the universe and all of its contents are yours, and you sustain all of your creations as you see fit. My livelihood is in your hands alone and not up to me. What are you doing? You're confirming the obvious. You're solidifying for yourself. He knows that. You don't need to tell him that. He knows it. But by using those words and saying them out loud so that your ears can hear your voice, you're solidifying, you're concretizing these ideas in your mind. And if you say it every day, multiple times a day, it becomes real inside of you. It might start out not as entirely genuine, but eventually become more and more real. My livelihood is in your hands alone, and it is not up to me. You are the one who gives income and no one else. It's not my job to worry about where my livelihood will come. I'm cementing these ideas from myself. That's why I'm saying them. I don't even care at all. Yes, I do, but I'm saying I don't. Why? Because even though I do care, when I keep repeating that mantra multiple times a day, every day, then it becomes real. I really stop caring. And that's a great thing. And you might say, why? Shouldn't you really care about your income? And the answer is no. It's not your responsibility. Guys, this is a paradigm shift in reality. This is an entire switch, a flip, 180 degrees of how 99.9% of humanity approach life. The world has told us that we are responsible for the outcome, for our income, for our livelihood. So now I'm telling you that it's time to reverse it. I recognize it's very difficult. It's a lot easier said than done. But one way to be able to have progress in this department is to do this. Say this every day, 3 times a day. I don't even care at all. Please, Hashem, send me my livelihood as you deem fitting, and teach me how to strengthen my faith to serve you in happiness and to have absolute trust in you in whatever you do and the way that you do it. Help me cling to you always. It's not just about money. It's not, God, I've got a mortgage payment coming up this month and I don't know how I'm going to make it. I need that money, please. Please send me $4,000. I need $4,000. That's transactional. That's you going to an ATM. This is the conversation. This is by and large the structure that you should utilize to say, repeat out loud the things that you know to be true. And even if you don't know, but you want to know them to be true, especially in that situation, you should say them out loud because repetition, saying these things makes them real, or at least helps them to become real. Think about a small child. When a child misbehaves, the child goes and does something that the parent doesn't want him to do. Does the parent withhold food and clothing and shelter? No. You didn't do what I asked you. So now you're not going to have dinner. And now you're not going to have breakfast. And now you're not going to have lunch. A parent would never do that. A parent couldn't do that. A real loving parent would never withhold a meal from their child. It hurts them more than it hurts the child. Or God forbid, to kick the kid out of the house. You didn't do the thing that I asked you to do, so now leave the house and go sleep on the streets or live in your car. Who would do something like that? It doesn't make any sense. That's not what a parent would do. So he says, of course not. If such is the case with us, with human beings who are frail and weak, and the Creator is infinitely more merciful and compassionate than a human being, then obviously that's going to be the case with our Creator. Obviously, he's not going to abandon you, which is to say, think about this for a second, that if you exist in this world and you make no effort, then he still has to provide you with the basic necessities of life. You could be a couch potato. You could sit around and do nothing all day long, and he still has an obligation to provide for you. Why? Because he brought you into this world. And with that came his obligation, his contract to take care of you. The same way we as parents, when we bring children into this world, we have, by law, obligations to be able to sustain this child and provide for a safe and healthy environment. The necessities of life. That's what we're responsible for. And if you don't, you'll be taken to court and you'll be held responsible and the children will be taken away from you and you could do jail time. That's in this world. God created all of this. And the entirety of modern day judicial system comes from a root of Torah. So Hashem knows this very well. I made a decision to bring you into this world. I'm going to sustain you. Now, do you want to live a good life? Then you make efforts. Do you want to increase your yearly stipend? Then you need to make efforts. If you want to enjoy this life and do well at it, which is why I brought you here in the first place, then make those efforts. And my interactions with you my decisions in terms of what's required for you in this life will change accordingly. But if you're just giving a basic effort, if you're just showing up barely, then that's the life you're going to get. Then God's going to see that and say, okay, you're just coasting. I'm going to give you what you need to coast. But if you're growing and you're learning and you're doing and you're improving the world and helping others around you and you need those resources, then you're here for the reason that I put you here. And it was all worthwhile, like we said the other day. And therefore, I'm going to give you the resources, the additional resources. It's not enough for you to make $100,000 or $50,000. Now you need to make $1 million. Now you need to make 10 million. Now you need to make 100 million because your position in this life is that much more pivotal and that much more impacting on society. That's how it works, my friends. But know that he brought you into this world. It doesn't matter. Don't think about it. You don't have to think about your livelihood. You don't have to think about your health. You don't have to think about your safety because he is responsible for that. But there's a condition. There's always a condition. You have to be doing the things that he wants you to do. You have to occupy your time with the things that he wants you to occupy your time with. We have to make basic efforts. And if you're going to make those basic efforts, then he will step up every single time.
Thank you for spending time with us on the Trust Factor podcast. If you've heard something today that moved you, save this episode and share it with someone who might need to hear it. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss upcoming conversations that challenge, empower, and uplift. And if you're on social media, connect with us. Leave your thoughts. Drop a quote that resonated with you. Hashtag the Trust Factor podcast. Until next time, keep growing in your trust and keep living with purpose. I'm Jesse Revivo, and this has been the Trust Factor Podcast. Thanks for listening.